What's going on, guys? My name is Matt, and the PC case you're looking at right now is the Raijintek Styx, which in terms of what I like in a computer case seems to check most if not every box. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the unique features and design elements of this computer case in an attempt to help you decide whether or not this case is for you. Welcome to my full review of the Raijintek Styx microATX computer case. So let's start off with the basics. What is it? Well, the Raijintek Styx is a microATX computer case made of aluminum and steel that currently comes in at $85. Its price tag puts it up against a lot of good cases, but there are a lot of features and design elements that allow this case to stand out from the pack. This case comes in at 8.3 inches wide by 13.2 inches tall by 14.2 inches deep. This means it occupies around 25 liters in total volume, putting it on par volume-wise to the Inwin 301 and the Fractal Design Define Nano S. The first thing you notice when you see this case is its beautiful brushed aluminum shell. Covering 5 of the 6 sides, this makes the Styx look really premium and gives the case the awesome weight properties of aluminum. Under the outer aluminum shell is a steel frame which adds a great deal of structural support and reduces production costs by not having the entire case being made of aluminum. I like this approach as it creates a good compromise between looks, cost, and rigidity. Taking a quick physical tour of the outside of the case, the front just features a flat rectangular piece of aluminum with rounded corners and chamfered edges. The top of this panel features the power button, which glows white when the PC is turned on, and the bottom of the panel features a subtle and non-intrusive Raijintek logo. The top curved panel features the front panel I/O, including 2 USB 3 ports and audio in and out. One thing to note is that this case does not feature a reset button, which I honestly prefer but might be bothersome to some of you guys out there. The top panel also features a long metal mesh grille, which I'll discuss in further detail later in the review. The left side panel is a rectangular piece of solid aluminum with 4 screw holes for mounting to the chassis. The right side panel features a slim slot loading optical slot and either a window or nothing on the non-windowed version. The bottom curved panel gives you access to the back of the PSU, intake holes for a fan, and mounting holes for an additional drive. The back of this case is made of black steel and features the motherboard I/O cutout, a 120mm fan spot, 5 PCIe expansion slots, and grommeted external water cooling holes. Removing the side panel is done by removing 4 screws for either panel. Speaking of screws, this is a good time to note this case is entirely assembled with screws, which is great because the majority of the cases on the market are assembled using rivets, which though cheaper to manufacture means you can't really easily take them apart. The Styx being assembled with screws means disassembly for painting, modding, or whatever else is super simple. I'm actually thinking of doing a full acrylic side panel mod because I'm not the biggest fan of how the default side panel window looks, and it would only cost like $10 to do, so if you'd like to see me make that into a video, let me know in the comment section down below. Opening up the side panel, we start to see the unique layout of the Styx case. The PSU is mounted to a bracket at the front of the case and a power extension is run to the back of the case. Though I am using an SFX PSU, this chassis has the space for very long power supplies. Just keep in mind using extra long graphics cards may cause clearance issues for extra long power supplies. The motherboard is mounted in an inverted layout, which is definitely something you don't see on most cases. In terms of fan support, you can fit 4 120mm fans, 2 on top, 1 on the back, and 1 on the bottom. The only fan slots that are filtered are the top 2, meaning if you want dust-free airflow, you need to make the top fan's intake and the bottom/back fan exhaust. The fan filter easily pops out, but you do need to remove the side panel to access the plastic clips to remove it. One fan comes included with the case pre-installed in the back fan slot. In terms of radiator support, you can fit a 120mm radiator in the back slot and up to a 240mm radiator in the top. Though if air cooling is more your thing, this case supports air coolers up to 180mm in height. In terms of drive support, if you really want to, you can fit a large number of drives in this case, up to 3 3.5-inch drives and 3 2.5-inch drives. There's a support bracket that runs along the top of the case, and that's where 3.5 or 2.5 drives can be mounted, with 3 additional 2.5-inch drive mount locations, 2 on the back of the motherboard tray and 1 at the bottom of the case. Cable management is not great in this case as there there's almost no room behind the motherboard tray for cables to run, and almost no cable tie-down points. Even just installing a drive with non-flat SATA cables caused the back panel to bulge slightly. Front panel cables routed back here can be curved over the motherboard tray and plugged in. Though cable management isn't the easiest on this PC, it really isn't a big issue in my opinion, as it will be impossible to see on the non-windowed version, and the windowed version reveals so little that as long as your cables aren't obstructing airflow, then messy cables shouldn't be visible. Overall, this case isn't perfect, but I think it's a good compromise between price, features, and quality. Seeing that many other aluminum cases from manufacturers like Lee oftentimes cost upwards of double the cost of this PC case. Something also to note is that if you enjoy the design and layout of this case but prefer a different form factor, then Raijintek makes similar designed cases in ITX and ATX form factors called the Majestic and Thetis respectively, which I'll leave links to in the description down below. So the real question is, do you think this case is worth it? I honestly do. I think this is a good option for those of you who want a premium looking aluminum PC case but don't want to break the bank. My biggest recommendation would be to make sure the hardware you're purchasing is compatible and will fit inside of the chassis before pulling the trigger, as I've heard people have had issues with GPU and power supply length problems. So yeah guys, I think this wraps this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing for more PC and tech related content in the future. And as always, this is Matt from Tech by Matt, signing out.